You'll be a fan. One, occasionally you lose power. I was so done fixing that list. I was like, nah, I'm out.
All right. So, uh, yep. Brad's internet did not like Order of Our Martyred Lady.
It's not even the internet. My entire house decided to lose power from it.
That's what you want. So, looking at this list, I think summarizing the changes that we were proposing, or I was proposing at least. I think you give the Dogmata Sigil Ecclesiasticus.
Just say you only were applying. That's hurtful. Next
well,
thing,
I don't know. I didn't want to blame you for including 10 girl retributor.
Next thing you know,
list.
you're going to be on a video with Siegs telling me about how you guys wrote my list. So,
I mean, 11% at least.
Only you get 11%.
Oh yeah, Siegs gets nothing. But drop Kyrie Draxus, drop the Missionary, give the Dogmata Sigil Ecclesiasticus, and I do think you put in Ephriel Stern into this list.
Yeah, I want Draxus gone. I want 3 Retributors because we want to really focus on that strength of the army, which is pew-pewing and pew-pewing on death.
And I want 10, 5 Retributors and their healer, the Hospitaller. That's what I want, so you can remove your multi-meltas, shoot on death, and then grow them back and fire with the Cherub. So you do have to cut some combat to make that happen, whether that's the Repentia Superior, or the Zephyrum, something like that you're going to need to cut. But then you will melt the people to death, and you have a lot of special characters who can all bop in combat.
Pew pew, punch punch.
Mm-hmm.
Hero Hammer.
I think Order of Our Martyred Lady is Hero Hammer, and because I like Hero Hammer, I may run it at some point. Is it as good as Bloody Rose?
Yeah,
I mean, who's to say? It's not, but like...
I love that you're like, look, it's not, but it might be, but it's not.
But it's not. I believe you also had some notes, which is a little late, but, whatever.
Oh, man, you didn't give us the notes until after?
Been running this list with some extra tech into Chaos, Death Guard, tons locally, and Catan in the form of Draxus, and the Missionary's Mortal Wound chant. Which I guess is refrain of blazing piety. Generally form 2 mini castles with 1 priest in each of my home objectives. Debating dropping Draxus for a word Palatine, as she has a liability in T-Sons, but she does have a few more tools than a Palatine would. Deny, target, smite, etc. As Jack has said, I know Order of Our Martyred Lady is totally contrarian, but that's just the way I like to play. You do you, buddy. Also been playing mostly exclusively on GW style terrain. So I would go with the suggestions that I made, and I think that should do well for you.
Bam! Flip! Kaboom!
Flip, flip, kaboom.
Emperor's Chosen Patrol and Emperor's Chosen Vanguard. We've got Trajan because he automatically populates when you make a list.
Except for our WTC Custodes list, Bradley.
Still auto-populates. I will not take that back. 3 Custodes, Sword and Board. A Praetor with a Magnifica. Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle. Yeah, I can't even talk today. Shield Captain on Dawn Eagle Jetbike. Exemplar, Superior Creation, Hurricane Bolters. Triple Contemptor Achilles. Triple Venerable Contemptor, and 2 Caladiuses with Pew 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 Fly Fly Fly.
Yes. So his notes are very short. Standard Custodes Dreadnought spam. Do I need a 3rd Caladius? Can I do detachments better? To answer those in order, I really like a 3rd Caladius, but you don't need it. Can you do detachments better? Yes. So let's take a look at. We have a WTC Custodes list on a WTC team, and I wrote it.
I mean, I love that you put it on a WTC team. Like, are you on a different team that we don't know about?
On our WTC.
You did not
team.
say our. You said a, like it's just a random team. Jack showing up as Hack Jarpster playing for his...
I just have a gigantic mustache, and I'm like, yes, I am on the French team. I am playing the Custodes.
I'm just like, who are you making this list for?
But yes, I wrote our WTC list. I basically wrote 2 different lists for John, and he picked the one. It was also the one I thought was better. So there are some criteria that you need when you're running a Dreadnought spam Custodes list. You don't need triple Caladius. I really like it. The list we have currently does have triple Caladius, but you need a secondary game plan. And the secondary game plan in this list is not as good as it could be. And also, you don't have a backfield objective holder. Those are two things that I want to fix with this list. So everything in here wants to go forward. The Custodian Guard want to hold the center objective, and basically they go on the center. And so all the Dreadnoughts push your opponent, and the Custodian Guard go in the center, and your opponent never has time to deal with them, and you score a bunch of 12s. You have nothing to hold the side objective. You have nothing to hold your back objective. But you do have a lot of forward pressure. I do like the Vexless Praetor in here, although I'm about to advocate cutting it.
I was just about to say, he doesn't do much, though, in this particular list, to be perfectly honest.
So your secondary game plan also involves you need to raise banners, because this list has to take banners. You just have your secondary game plan is very weak.
Yep, it's also
you need banners. And
the fact is that I hate taking the Custodes secondary just because of the fact that it requires you to go second.
It does not. Well, we've played with it a couple of times. If you dominate with it, yes. We played with it a couple of times here. It is a good secondary, and you will take it like pretty much every single time.
You have to.
If you go first, you redeploy the grab tanks, and you push your opponent as hard as possible. All 6 Contemptors and the 2 Caladius and your characters, and everything goes forward. And you put enough pressure on your opponent that you can score your secondaries. And in fact, you'll probably table them because you're going first. You put a ton of pressure down, and then you're fine. But if you're going second, it's harder to push your opponent. So you need a secondary. You need secondaries that are good at that. And that's where Stand Vigil comes in. I really like Stand Vigil, but you also need banner raisers in this list. And you have 3 that can do it, and all of them want to go to the center objective.
Also, who's taking those back objectives right now? Are you trying to put the...
Exactly.
Yeah, the problem is that the Caladiuses aren't as much of the backboard takers because of the fact that you're using the fly keyword to get angles on people. So you're using their speed and fly to try to get those angles to kill people. Because this list is really doubling down on trying to murder your opponent.
I'm not going to change the Custodian Guard. I do actually like planting them on the center objective as the rest of your list pushes them, and nobody ever has time to deal with them in a reasonable time frame. Cool. Not going to cut Trajan. Not going to cut the 6 Dreadnoughts. Not going to cut the 2 Caladius. But we do need to fix your secondary game plan. And we do need to give you a backfield objective holder. So the Shield Captain Dawn Eagle Jet Bike needs to go, because you need more infantry units. And the Vexless Praetor is going to go because you can't have that many guys pushing the center of the board. You need somebody to hold your backfield. You need someone to hold the side.
We also would like to go to 1 detachment.
You can in that configuration go to 1 detachment.
Why bother not?
Yeah, no, this works. You're basically getting the Vexless Praetor. If you cut the Vexless Praetor, you go to a single detachment, and you gain. So if you cut those 2 characters, you gain 160 plus 105, right? 265. We need something to hold your backfield. We need something to hold the side objective. Both of those need to be able to raise banners. So
banner up. Banners are so good right now too. The change to banner made them significantly better, and Custodes are very good at just clearing, especially this list right now, clearing people off that try to take down your banners.
Yeah. So looking at it, what you can do is you can take Void's Men at Arms, which are 40 points, and can hold your backfield objective like champs. And then you need something to hold your side objective. That could be 3 Custodian Guard. That could be a Foot Captain, because whatever you do send to the side objective needs to be a little tougher than a Knight Centura, in my opinion. You could take a Knight Centura with the, I think, Void Sheen Cloak is what it's called, where you're -1 to hit and -1 to wound.
And still, if they want to kill him, they're going to kill him. We need to.
It does mean like 5 Rangers isn't going to walk up to him and pop her.
True. I know, but I'm just saying, you need, if you're determined to take it and take an objective and score those points, I'm going to send something more than nonsense to kill that.
True. You could take a Shield Captain on foot for 105. That leaves you with 120 left. That guy is going to be hard to kill. He's 7 wounds, toughness 5 with a 2-up save, and you can give him superior creation if you want, just to make him really obnoxious to kill. I don't hate that. You could take superior creation. You could take a Terminator Captain with 8 wounds, and that guy is not going anywhere. on the side objective, then you're set, and you have a backfield and a front field holder, and then you have 120 points left, or if you have taken a Terminator captain, you have 110 points left. And what I'd get for that, you don't have the slots for a Vexilla at that point, although you could take the Patrol Vanguard, which is the same amount of CP, anyways. And then you just take a Vexilla at that point, I think. But so it really is just drop the shield captain and Dawn Jetbike for a foot cap.
Let's compare and contrast this list to what you're taking, or John's taking right now, WTC.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay, so here's the list. You take Trajan, you take 3 shield guard, you take a Vexilla, you take a foot captain, you take 3 contemptors, you take 3 contemptor Acolytes, 3 venerable contemptors, 2 Caladius. That's the list. And you'd have a unit of Voidsman as well. You turn the shield captain Donegal into a foot guy and Voidsman, and that solves all your objective problems right there. So if we compare that to the list that we're taking to WTC, that list has a Terminator captain with superior creation and obliteratum, and it has a foot captain with Castellan's mark. Oh, also, I would put Castellan's mark on the foot captain.
Redeploy. And then I would very big.
Yeah, I'd put Castellan's mark on the foot captain and consider taking Ignores cover on the Vexilla if you have CP left. If you take superior creation and Castellan's mark, that's 2. Trajan's is free. Then that gives you enough points to take Ignores cover or on the Vexilla, and I like that. So that puts you to 0, and that's okay. So the list that we're taking has a Terminator foot captain and a regular foot captain, 3 shield guard, 3 of each of the Achilles and the Contemptor, 3 Caladius, and a unit of Voidsman. I do like that list better than the one we just currently discussed. It does not have Trajan, but it has a guy who is close enough for 85 points cheaper.
He's the Diet Coke of Trajan.
Sure. That list gets a 3rd Caladius, and the difference between 2 and 3 is
night and day. Is what you're trying to say. It's
so nice to have 3 Caladius. Sisters can't step out into the open against you full stop, or they just die. And in fact, after a couple turns, they don't have a choice. They just die because the Caladius catch angles on them and shoot them. And you still have 6 Dreadnoughts. You don't have a Vexilla, but you have enough stuff to hold objectives. You have 3 Custodian Shield Guard to go on the center objective. You have a Diet Coke Trajan who gives you a ton of extra points. And you have a foot guy just to run to the side objective, no questions asked, and just hold it and raise a banner. Turn 1, you take the Kata for Conserve, so you can advance and raise banners. And you just go.
By the way, that's a big deal. If you're playing that list, you need to put that as your first because you need to be able to move and put those banners down. So it's important to really rock that right away.
Yeah. As nice as Trajan is, and as nice as the Shield Captain and Dawn Eagle Jetbike are, the Dawn Eagle Jetbike in this list has to go. You need more foot units that can go out to different objectives and hold them. You need something to hold your backfield objective. You need something to hold your side objective as the rest of your list pushes forward. That guy's got to go, unfortunately. As nice as those special characters are, the 3rd Caladius makes the list the terror that I think it can be. So if you want to add a 3rd Caladius, I'd really like that. Because that list is horrifying to try and fight with 3 Caladius just moving up, catching angles on you, and shredding your army as the Contemptors push the front line.
Agreed, and more agreed by now.
Wow, you're actually on board with our WTC list? I thought you just did it out of begrudging, you guys have played Custodes, you guys know.
No, I'm saying I agree on the fixes. I didn't say anything. Don't put these other crazy words into my mouth.
All right, I wouldn't dream of it, buddy.
So let's talk about Kraken releasing it even. I want to do some Tyranid stuff. We've got a patrol, a Hive Tyrant, walking around with a heavy venom cannon, Paroxysm Onslaught, Neuralthrope, Sniper Tendrils, Catalyst Onslaught, 3-man warrior units with a venom cannon, 3 Tyrant Guard, 3 Zoes, 2 Carnifexes with heavy venom cannons, +1 to hit, another patrol with I'm assuming it's a flying, yes it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, you saw Reaper of Obliterax and you assumed it's a Flyrant. It is not.
That makes me sad.
You cannot have a heavy venom cannon.
I was just about to say, as soon as I
Tyranids.
saw heavy venom cannon, I was like, wait a second. A Tervagon, 29 Termagants, Death Leaper, and 3 Venom Thropes. I think this list is trying to do stuff that is not Kraken.
That was my impression. I showed this to John, and he's like, if you're taking this stuff, you just shouldn't be Kraken.
Yes, 100%.
So what I'd really like to see this as is Leviathan. You have a bunch of heavy venom cannons.
We could do Levy, or we could do Behemoth. I mean, we could do
Behemoth. Could do Behemoth to make them 5 models OBSEC. That also works. Either way, I think Leviathan or Behemoth are both good. What I want to lean into is, at that point, is taking heavy venom cannon Carnifexes.
If we do Behemoth, I would love to do that. Just have more big guys in this. This list just doesn't have an identity right now.
Yeah, it's Kraken, but it's not using any of the stuff. This guy, so Linux DK does have some notes on the list. There are some list building restrictions, unfortunately. Just you know how it is. Sometimes you just don't have every model. So I don't have any Pyrovores, Biovores, Harpies, or Raveners. So I know I'm already playing on hard mode. Can I optimize this list without having to buy those models? And if not, what should I get first? I'm not sure if Kraken or Leviathan is the go-to with this list. I'm leaning towards speed. That's a great instinct there. Unfortunately, you don't really have anything that can use the speed. So between those two, I would go Leviathan. And you get that reroll on the heavy venom cannon. You get your list gets harder to kill, especially from strength 9 or higher weapons. But that's not the biggest thing I would change.
Can we slap some wings on this Hive Tyrant for one?
That's what I was going to say. I think the Hive Tyrant needs wings. You put wings on the guy who's not your warlord, so that if you lose him, you don't lose your imperatives. You keep Reaper of Obliterax, you keep Paroxysm, Psychic Scream, the whole 9 yards, and you take off the heavy venom cannon. You keep Adrenal Glands, Winged Hive Tyrant. I believe he's 225 at that.
I kind of want to know a list of models he has, though. We've got a super chat from Jacob. As new Chaos Knights player, can you explain dread abilities? Something every army can fail or not really? Thank you for the help. Chaos Knights are very scary sometimes because of that. Certain armies are going to be way, way more susceptible because of low morale or low leaderships into your dread tests. But slapping that 3d6 is a must for me. And you're going to want to push into people and set up your auras because of the fact that it changes how your opponent has to play. Because if Jax puts a bunch of Chaos Knights in front of me and puts those auras on me, it's going to change how I set up my moves, my charges, my everythings, because I have to assume that there's a chance and I'm going to start failing some of those checks. So you have to actually put those out there and give yourself a chance to make those dread tests actually impact your opponent. Because even if they don't fail them, they're still going to change how they play versus them.
Yeah, absolutely. they
I love the joy. Yeah. Okay. Well said, sir.
John is the pilot, but he is not the designer. I am the original Custodes Dread.
Are you the architect?
The original guy who's stupid enough to run just like a big wall of gold bricks and hit your opponent with them. But talking about Chaos Knights, yeah, your opponent can't really commit to plans that involve charging you at any kind of range because they could just all fail and then they lose the game on the spot. And so they still have to work around it. I mean, even Custodes, when you're -3 leadership, roll 3d6, pick the 2 highest. They're lead 8 now with -3, and then they can totally just fail. So they need to be careful about it.
Yeah, especially on 3d6 on that. So it's a big deal on that. The thing is it just changes. We talk about a lot. The threat of something is a lot of times more valuable than the actual something. So just the threat of the dread test is a big deal because your opponent will change how they move and how they position their shots. So that in itself, even if they make every single dread test, they're going to have changed how they moved their army, how they move their assaults. They're going to possibly have either overcommitted to a side and or basically set their movement up so they're not even taking the chance of making long charges. They're going to charge things that are much, much closer. They're going to set up their shooting so that they're going to have a lot of redundancy on what they're doing because they don't want to fail those checks.
All right, so getting back to this Kraken list here.
I don't think what you meant to say was not Kraken list.
Right, I think it's going to turn into a Leviathan list, and we want to make that Hive Tyrant a Winged Hive Tyrant. That's the first change.
100% we're making that guy a Winged Hive Tyrant. That's the thing is, I wish we had models, though, because if we make this Behemoth, I'd like to, I mean, the Tervigon could be just like old One Eye or something, you know what I mean? And push up and just do smashing damage.
Yeah. You could take old One Eye in this. The Tervigon and the Termagants, I kind of want to turn into more Carnifexes, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd love to have a third Carnifex, and then it would be nice to have, at that point in time, I would like to see old One Eye Banks. Plus, he's awesome looking.
He does, and he's very durable.
Right. And the thing is, I would like to see Death Leaper just become the parasite of Mortrex at that point in time.
Death Leaper is
they're both interchangeable. They have the same warlord trait. I just want
they do. Death Leaper is obnoxious because he's very hard to he can stand out in the open and not be shot unless you're within, I think, 12 inches, maybe 18, but I think it's 12. And so he can stand on objectives and just be like, well, it's my objective. He is OBSEC 5 models, and then he can run in and turn off stratagems on units, which means he can go deal with he can go deal with with a Phoenix Lord without the Phoenix Lord coming back. He can charge a unit now they can't interrupt with it. They can there's like an infinite number of uses for it. They can't pop defensive stratagems.
We have I don't even know. Is this a super chat? It's a mega chat. This is an ultra chat. I don't know what this is. It's just a
Goran
big box.
J is a member for 2 months. And he says, playing Ultramarines, going into competitive play now, what's the most high-end competitive Ultramarines list one can play and have a shot against the field? Thank you, love the channel. So I'll let you take that one, Brad.
Into the Ultramarines? Thanks. So
No. So there is somebody who is an Ultramarine diehard who's been playing them a lot. I want you to look up Thomas Bird. Thomas Bird. Lovely guy. Love him. But he also has been sticking with Ultramarines and doing well with them. I think his team came in second or third at ATC, and he was playing
really well with them too.
He did. They got a bunch of points cuts.
He's very combat heavy and really short firefight heavy. He's running a what's he got? I can't even figure out. What are the stupid heavy guys that walk around?
Eradicators?
No, he had Eradicators, but he also had the guys that we always argue that they're slightly too expensive.
Oh, Hellblasters.
Hellblasters. He had a unit of Hellblasters, a unit of Eradicators. He had Victrix Guard.
Victrix Guard are really good, by the way. If you're running pure Ultramarines, they are real good. Because they're cheap. They're very cheap. And they have a 3-up invuln and a 2-up armor save. And they have Armor of Contempt because Ultima shields are not Storm shields. Thomas Bird, B-Y-R-D. Goran.
He's also 11 feet tall.
He is staggeringly huge.
He's a big guy.
Yes. That's all Brad can think about. So I would definitely look to anything he has said or done about Ultramarines because he does great work with them. And it's very janky, like the way he plays, because all of his rules overlap in weird ways. And he has done a great work with it. I would definitely look at his lists. They tend to have a lot of characters. They tend to have like a lot of Victrix Guard and resurrecting models and just trying to like exist.
Plays really well with shenanigans. A lot of shenanigans.
Yes, a lot of shenanigans in Ultramarines.
Also,
a weird number.
Beautiful army. If you get a chance to actually see the army, it's also fantastic looking.
He's also very nice. So if you find yourself at a tournament with him, and you can tell him I said it was all right for you to walk up and ask him a question, and then he can be mad at me, but he won't.
And then you find out it's all a trick, and he's actually terrible. He's just gonna stab you.
But he's very nice, and I'm sure he would love to answer any questions if you meet him at an event. Back to the
hotel.
Mazda says, Brad said in the last podcast he likes Allied Knights and Custodes, and what do I think? I think that Knights are not what you need, because if you take Helverins, then if you take Warglaves, they're
No,
the
just
Diet Coke.
Helverins.
They're the Diet Coke to the Melted Dreads. And if you take Helverins, then Helverins against a lot of targets just don't do any damage. There are a lot of targets where they do insane damage, but there are a lot of targets where they don't do any. And at that point, you are compromising the rest of your list in order to have very situational damage. If your opponent has Armor of Contempt, you may as well not have the Helverins. And so I don't personally like them very much.
I personally love them. I embrace them. Hugs.
No, I will tell everyone who will listen that Brad loves Imperial Knights.
Oh God, no!
All right, so let's finish talking about this list. So what would we change exactly?
I want big boys. I need big boys in here. We're going to take a Flying Hive Time. We're going to take a third Carnifex. I would like to see the Tervigon and the Termagants become something else. I wouldn't mind seeing, if we made it Behemoth, I would like to see the third Carnifex period, I actually think. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Tervigon become Old One Eye and the troops just becoming a fourth Warrior Squad with a heavy Venom Cannon.
Yeah, I do like that.
And then we have
just lean more into mid-range shooting and big boys.
Yeah, big boys. And if we made it, both are good, Leviathan or Behemoth. In my mind, I'm thinking Behemoth, just because we'd have a lot of OBSEC big boys running down, just smashing down all this heavy Venom Cannon mojo.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at in the list. I think it's pretty solid. I don't think you need some of those other elements in it. I mean, if you want to get them, I would say if you're looking for a buy list, Ravners are at the top of my list, and then you can go into Kraken and make good use of it. But I would I definitely try and lean more into big boys with this, and then go either Leviathan or Behemoth. Jacob asks, where can you submit lists? So if you are a member, which Jacob here is, you just go to their Discord and you go to the Fix My List channel and you submit it there. Please make it legible. Like, please. I did skip over a couple lists
Jack
that I would otherwise have
Battle
put in.
Scribe. Always Battle Scribe, guys.
There were a couple lists that I would have put in otherwise, but were completely illegible, and I did not include them. Like having every model's like bolter option listed. I did not do that list.
Matt Super.
Ooh, Matt O with the $10 super chat. Stupid work. Thanks for all the streams and review work, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Matt O.
I like this. I kind of want to see this big boy list on the board, though. I do have a soft place in my heart for Old One Eye.
Yeah.
He's old, like me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, both of us lost to Joel Wilson.
There was so many. Well, not anymore. That's when I completely designed my list to murder.
Yeah, you were like more damage.
All the damage.
Boys, we were, I think, underestimating just a weight of large gentlemen, and they really do have a power. And if you take a lot of monsters, and you, Nick, everything bagel with either cream cheese or scallion cream cheese, and if there's lox, you put that on there. I'll love you forever.
What is even happening right now?
He asked me for my bagel order, and he tuned into the stream, I guess, to get it. Because he's picking up bagel.
This is a madhouse. Just a... Who's
Brad,
in charge over here?
You think people tune into you and me talking to have like a coherent thought? They just want to get that chaos, that stream of consciousness.
My God.
And I think we should lean into it. Listen, people in chat, you tell me, do you want like some cold clinical, like, yes, I think this list has 10% less fliggity booze?
I mean, Robo and I drank wine and talked WTC on Monday, so I'm down with that.
Or do you want the real Jack and Brad experience? I need you guys to tell me in the chat.
I like this. Are you at least getting capers on this too?
I mean, I could get capers, and Matto has pointed out that onion bagels are great.
Onion bagels are amazing.
I will say, Nick, if you give me an onion bagel, that would go well too. Like I would like
onion bagel's the best bagel, but you need capers on there too. They're delicious.
They are. Capers are good. Capers are good. I mean, at what point does this become a sandwich though? Like,
I mean, it should be at that point in time. You should have a bagel with so much stuff on top of it. It should be delicious. Also, we should go into the new segment, which is Fix This Bagel.
There is a bagel place near my home in New Jersey. It's called Bagel Pantry in Metuchen. and it is just the best bagels ever. And every time I go back, I just have a ton. And I have like an everything bagel with scallion cream cheese and lox and onions, and it's just so good.
Salmon. You need salmon capers on your bagel. It's delicious.
Capers are really, really nice.
So
Capers are
delicious.
really nice.
So
yeah,
good.
they really are. They really are. Florida folks are missing out, Matto. I agree. I'm from New Jersey. Reziel wants to know why I think Mephiston is better than an unnamed librarian.
Because then you can name your list insistent on Mephiston.
I am insistent on Mephiston. I do think Mephiston is better than an unnamed librarian, so he doesn't require any warlord traits or relics to be good. And he bops pretty hard, which is something that's nice. The regular librarian kind of doesn't, and I like having just that extra little combat presence. When things turn into like a scrambly mess, it helps to have every single unit be able to contribute to the melee, which helps quite a lot. He's also very durable, so he's hard to just dive to try to make him stop doing his thing, and he's also can go into units and Angel Sacrifice to pull attacks into him without necessarily dying, because he's a 2-up, 5-up Feel No Pain, 6 wounds, toughness 5, access to transhuman, and he has Armor of Contempt. So I really do I do think Mephiston is better than an unnamed librarian, largely because I don't want to spend command points on warlord traits and relics at that point, and I think Mephiston is good without them, so that's why I like him.
Indeed, my friend. We will, I'll be drinking adult drinks, and I'll be trying to make a Jack drink adult drinks tomorrow when we play.
Tomorrow? You're coming in? Oh my God, you're coming in tomorrow!
I take a 5 a.m. flight. I'm not even going to bed tonight.
Bradley, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
I do want to point out to everybody that during ATC, Jack fought every single Death or Glory person who would actually jiu-jitsu with him in the middle of our cottage.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I just wrestled a bunch of dudes outside.
Just for by the way, 2 hours straight. I was drinking wine, eating my dinner, sitting in front of a bonfire, and Jack was taking on all comers the entire time. It was amazing. You yelled over to me, you're like, Brad, come out here. I'm just like, basically picked up my wine and my steak and went, nah. Just like, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm very old.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. You know your limit. Well, I mean, you don't, but that's what I like about you.
True. Exodite Eldar. Oh my God. Sorry, I just saw Exodite Eldar. If Exodite Eldar come out, I don't care what they are. They're going in my list because, again, dinosaurs with laser beams on their head that fly with Eldar on top of them, they could be 700 points and have one shot. I would still bring one. I don't care.
Brad.
Yes, sir.
See if you can get, or I'll see if I can get a link to the Discord, and I'll message it to Jacob.
Yes. So everybody have that. Salamander list. Somebody put me in the Salamander chat, and I will put in what I played the other day, actually, in Salamanders. He says for a friendly tournament, it would take me too long to just explain my whole list.
Your list is weird. I want, Brad, when you get here, I want to do well, I'll talk to you about it. You guys will see what is coming out soon, but I don't want to spoil it until it's ready.
So we can do some stuff. We're doing some stuff. Speaking of that, we're recording so much stuff. So if anybody wants to see something while I am down in Florida, I will be down there Thursday to Sunday. And we will be doing all kinds of gaming, which could be recorded if you would like to see things.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be doing a whole bunch of stream games. We've been streaming some of our WTC practice. So Jacob, I will see if I can get you a Discord link after the stream is over. I'll talk to Siegs. That's my solution.
I was just about to say, Siegs. I don't know why you're saying this. Just tell Siegs to do it. Siegs
I'm just going to tell Siegs to do it.
Sieg will make it happen. He's a man.
But yeah, I've been open to to wrestling with you, Brad. But I'm worried that you wouldn't survive.
I'm worried that I would strike you and you would be sad.
I'm always sad. What's the difference there?
And Meadow, the whole Art of War house is going to WTC.
Yes, we are.
Literally the entire thing.
It didn't start out that way,
no.
but it did end that way. Brad was the coach. Now he's playing. Nick is now the coach, and he might be playing. And John, me, Mark, and Siegs are all playing. And then Anthony, who's an Art of War coach, is also playing.
We have all of the
And we
team.
also have 3 Art of War coaches who are playing on other teams.
Yep.
Yep. Scari's playing for Canada, Matt Marsali for Australia, and Robbo is playing for Team England.
Ooh, you know we do have to ask, though? There is real questions here. Nurgle Matt brings this up. Who's taking care of the dog?
Don't worry, we got it taking care of the dog guy.
Taking care of the dog guy. I feel like the house will literally be burnt down because of the dog by the time you get back.
She doesn't burn things, but she does devour. She ate an entire bed.
Yeah, I tried to sleep on that bed.
Yeah. Just chewed through the baseboard, like through wooden,
no one,
like 2x4s.
I need people to know this, because after you guys left me at the airport, this is a real thing, by the way. Everything I'm saying right now happened. For one, first off, they just leave me at Tallahassee Airport. They're like, yeah, figure it out. No one came to get me.
It's not that far away. Like, Uber exists. You have
it doesn't exist. In Tallahassee, Uber just didn't exist. I basically put in Uber, they went, no, thank you. And just, I couldn't get an Uber. So then I go to sleep, and they have a bed. It looks like there's a bed set up for me, and I go to lay on it, but it's basically a prank joke bed, apparently, and I fell completely through it to the floor.
Haha, you've been pranked.
Thank you for drinking the ball back in Salt City for me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
She also, there was a mattress on top of it. She ate a hole into the mattress and then peed in the hole.
I definitely was home alone. Jesus. Breaking news, Florida dog eats bad. Yeah, it's the dog is a menace to society.
You would be shocked. She's an amazing dog. Love Bella, but she did things to that bed that means I don't want to be on her bad side. Scott, the Warhammer Undivided team are a bunch of people who are going, even though they have a.
There's some problems in Europe right now, and we usually run a mercenary team each year. The Warhammer Undivided team is historically players that weren't on teams, wanted to be part of the WTC, and they usually put an event together for that. A lot of times there's teams that just can't go due to travel restrictions, things that are happening. And so at most years we have a undivided or a mercenary team where they get people from all different countries to play on that team.
Yes. Team Russia is not allowed to compete under Team Russia, let me put it that way. And so some of the people on that team and some mercenaries are combining to form Team Warhammer Undivided, including our very own Adam Camilleri, who is on Team Warhammer Undivided. I believe he was their coach. My guess is somebody had a travel issue.
Now he's on, and they've got my buddy Brandon Valley. He's traveling with me.
They do. He makes a mean burger.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
So,
and Gawatkin, you'd be shocked to hear that the Nick of Dogs is in fact Nick's dog.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it literally acts like Nick in dog form.
If she were Sieg's dog,
it would be a robot, and it would be
dog, yes.
yes, it would be an android.
And there would be no peeing randomly and chewing on beds. Weirdly enough, it is Sieg's bed, so Siegs will get recompense at some point.
It did get destroyed. Oh,
yes.
Devastation Nation. Well, that being said, you ready to Queens wave this out of here?
I think so. It's been fun just kind of nonsensing around with you, Brad, at the end of this.
That's my favorite part.
Nobody tells Siegs or Nick that we've been talking nonsense at the end, okay? I expect all of you guys to keep this between us.
I would like to do just this. I don't need a bit. I just want to talk.
Just me and Brad just
yapping.
Just yapping. I think that is fun. I can get behind that.
You should put that in the Discord, in any channel, on every channel that you'd like to see Brad and Jack talk about epic nonsense.
I mean, we could call it talking nonsense, and we could talk nonsense.
We will be there. For everybody, make sure you come up when we're at WTC. Run over, have a drink, chill out with us. It will be fantastic. On that, Queenswave.